Hello, my name is Melissa Aylott and I'm a housewife and a makeup artist by profession. Today I've been asked to share a testimony with you as to how I've overcome fear and anxiety in my life. Now, for those of you who really struggle with anxiety, I want to tell you that there is freedom and healing to be found in the person of Jesus Christ. I grew up in a home where I was very loved. My parents did everything they could to create a very safe environment for me. I grew up being quite adventurous. But as I look back on my life, I realized that I was actually quite an insecure child. I became very aware of my looks and my self-image at around the age of 4 or 5. And I decided that there were things about myself that I just did not like. There was actually an incident when I was 5 years old where I was looking into a mirror and the mirror cracked and it smashed. And I told myself that day that mirror smashed because I was ugly. And so this is a belief that I actually believed for many, many, many years. And what had happened was I started to become a little perfectionist. I felt that I needed to be perfect in order to be liked, in order to be loved, in order to be pretty. That perfectionism also carried right through into my adult years. I also started to develop some OCD tendencies as well. And this sort of lifestyle became incredibly stressful. I was never relaxed when people came over. It was just really, really hard to always try and maintain a level of perfectionism. And then 3 years ago, I was diagnosed with a disease called rheumatoid arthritis, which is an autoimmune disease. And I knew after being diagnosed that the amount of stress that I'd actually put myself under for so many years had now started to take its toll on my body, not only just my emotions and my mental state. And so I just said to the Lord, I cannot carry on like this anymore. I need freedom from this. And I knew that He was the only one who could actually set me free from the stronghold that I'd actually developed. A stronghold, for those of you who don't know, it's something that can be anything that we hold on to in life, but it actually ends up holding us. So for me, the perfectionism and all the insecurities and the self-rejection had actually, it had gripped me, and I was constantly living out of that place. And obviously, as a Christian, that just hinders you from the life that God has for you. And so I remember waking up one Sunday morning and just bringing all of this before the Lord, and I just said to Him, God, please, I need you to free me. And that morning I said to my husband, today is the day that I'm walking away from anxiety and from all these things. And I went to church that morning with a lot of anticipation in my heart, just ready for God to do a miracle work. And that day, the sermon wasn't anything with regards to anxiety, but funny enough, the pastor actually made an altar call for anyone who was struggling with fear and anxiety. And so as he said the word anxiety, the Holy Spirit just fell on me, and I literally started to hyperventilate. And I went forward for prayer, and just through prayer that day, something broke within me on that day. And then for a few months afterwards, I just went for quite a few healing prayer sessions, and I just began to process all of this stuff, and I repented from all those faulty belief systems, and I turned away from those things, and I turned to the Lord instead, and I began to fix my eyes on Him again, and I began to trust Him again, and I began to look to Him for my identity. And I can honestly say that since that day and since the healing prayer, I have been walking in so much more freedom. I don't have those OCD tendencies anymore, and I certainly don't feel that I have to be perfect anymore. And so I've just been learning to, as anxiety arises within me, because anxiety will come, and fear does come, but it doesn't grip me anymore. That grip is gone because of what Jesus has done for me. And now I've learned how to take my thoughts captive and to focus them on Him instead, and to just sit in His presence and to allow Him to minister His love over me. So I want to encourage you today to, if you are struggling with fear or anxiety, I want to encourage you to bring your life before the Lord and to surrender to Him. In Hosea, it actually says here that in Hosea 11 verse 4, it says that I led them with cords of human kindness, with ties of love. I lifted the yoke from their neck and bent down to feed them. That is what the Lord will do for you.